Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about set 5. I don't usually do discussion videos like this, but I don't know, new sets and the product reveal stream kind of got me all fired up. I wanted to share my thoughts with you guys, so don't forget to like, comment, and or subscribe if you at least enjoyed one part of the video today, as I hope to give you guys more of this style of video and this style of camera view because I think it's kind of fun. Let's go ahead and start digging in. First, we're going to talk about the ride line. So we got those encounter cards. So this would be your MLB, your Phantom Blaster Overlord, and your Draconic Overlord at the end, or Dote. I think those are in a fine place. MLB is kind of it's meh. PBO is definitely shows a lot of potential, and I think it's not a bad deck. I don't think Shadow Paladin and Overdress has ever been great. So I mean, if you like the deck, you're probably going to pick it up. And I think that these encounter cards are more for nostalgia purposes rather than I want a tier 0 deck or a tier 1 deck, which is fine. I do think that Overlord is exceptionally great. And by what I mean by that, I don't think it's like a tier 1 deck. But I do think that Overlord is very much so playable. It's got a very strong win con and synergizes extremely well with the OT. It's 18k body, 4 drives, potentially 6 if you hit OT. That's got to be good, especially in a format so young like Overdress. So I think for now, until Nirvana power creeps Overlord again like it did last time we got encounters, I believe in set 2, I think Overlord is a great like short-term choice, especially if you really enjoy Dragon Empire and you're a long-form player, or you just like Tokushiki Kai. As far as like the more Overdress focused units, we had the Grail ride line, we had the Tamayora ride line, we also had Roroa, Ava, and Chaos. So one for each nation. I will say that just kind of like after playtesting on CFA, and then everyone kind of getting their cards and playtesting this first week and a half, it definitely feels like the Greya and Tamayora are cut above the rest. They only need 1 to 2 cards. It doesn't even have to be specific support, but just generic support that supports their game plan. And I think that's more than enough to like make them like high tier 2s, low tier 1 decks. Chaos is kind of in this really awkward space where Barrow Magnus is so good and its ceiling is so much higher, and then Barrow also can hit its soul requirement on turn 3 just like Chaos, just as consistently. So it feels like there's almost no purpose to play Chaos unless you just want a meme or you really like Chaos. I think that Chaos is actually quite consistent. And then of course you have Ava and Roroa, which they need a lot of help. They feel a lot more clunkier and a little bit too slow in comparison to the other decks. And I guess Roroa more so than Ava, when you do get your game plan going, you can feel a little bit of what the game designers are going for, but I feel like it's missing something. Maybe a lot, maybe like more than 3 cards. Then we just need more research orders for Ava. I don't really have any problem with the card design being a little low on the power scale and it not really affecting the meta. It's a little unfortunate because we've been dealing with pretty much the same decks for a while now, but also like it takes time for these ride lines to get to where like Magnolia, Elder is, and Pure Light is. If you think about it, it took them 4 sets, so you got to give other decks time to grow. It does hurt though, especially if you're really excited for these new ride lines. I will say though that although their power level isn't as high, they feel really good in play. I guess on paper they seem a little lackluster because these are like wave 1 support for a lot of these decks, but in play they actually perform quite well, and I think that just goes to show, one, Overdress is just really young, so Bushy can get away with deck design like this where they don't feel as powerful. Like they're not like blatantly obvious that it's not blatantly obvious that they're very good decks or they're very playable decks. But again, if you're looking for like tier 1 stuff, I don't think the new set incentivizes you to drop any of your current tier 1 decks like Kyrie, Magnolia, Pure Light, any of the other like really strong meta contenders that we've been seeing for like BSF and stuff. This is kind of like in between anime seasons, so I'm not surprised that this set 5 is more of like a nostalgia set rather than like a power creep set where they're trying to force a meta, for sake of a better word. I'm looking at you, Pure Light. Set 4 was a very interesting time, but yeah, it's just in between anime seasons, so I wasn't expecting the set to be super ultra powerful. I'm expecting set 6 and 7 to be where a lot of the power creep comes in, and then kind of to tie in with set 5 to like the set 6 stuff. We did get revealed that the PR packs are gonna have some upgrades for set 5. I just hope that not all the upgrades are in the promo pack or the relevant upgrades for the decks. Uh, Especially like in the West. I don't know about like Europe or South America or any of the other nations, but I know for at least the US, a lot of my friends have a hard time getting promo packs. Even in the Chicagoland area where I am, we have a hard time getting those promo packs. It's a little frustrating, but we all find a way. And like, if you want to play your deck at full power, you don't have a choice but to pay the scalpers or pay the extra premium. Or maybe you're just buying a lot of boxes and hoping that you break even, which it's Vanguard, so good luck. But definitely putting key pieces in promo packs is never a good sign. I feel like it gatekeeps new players from playing the decks, and I guess in like V and Premium where it's more long form players, it's a little bit better. But in Overdress where they're trying to bring in new players, it feels a little really frustrating that, like, for example, Pure Light is still gate kept by the fact that Macarite is only a promo. They are reprinting it, but it is also still a promo, and it is still a $20 to $25 promo right now. So it just really does not look good as if you're like a new player like looking in and you want to play Pure Light because, I don't know, you like your art or you like the control aspect, just to realize you got to drop $100 on a promo before you buy any of the PGs, the overpriced over triggers, which are thankfully going down thanks to reprints or any of the other stuff that Bushy wants to give the deck. So again, like, that's like the bad, and the consequence I feel like is out of it is it's not really incentivizing players to build these decks. They can often just go to other decks. Like Barrow doesn't need promos, Gravidia World doesn't need promos. You can just play those if you really don't want to buy Impixes or Macarites or whatever broken support they want to put it in the PR pack for set 5 decks when they drop the set 6 set. But I do think that with all PR packs, and I mean, we got 6 ride lines revealed for Lyrical, we have the 5 ride lines from this set, and then we have more ride lines coming out in set 6. I think that we can confidently say that in the long term, not every deck that we get will be good, but every deck we get will get support of some degree. So even if you like the deck, just know that it may not always be the best deck. So it's kind of hard to tell, like, if you haven't bought your stuff yet, do I buy into the Grea? Do I buy into Ava or any of the other stuff you want? Because it seems like they're doing the PR pack gatekeeping and other stuff. But I think in the long term, these decks should be fine, and generic support always helps out a lot of decks. Just look at Inlet Pulse, Whirler, and Dark States. There's a lot of cards like that that just kind of overall increase the nation's power when they release. So they can always hope for those at the worst. And that's it for today. I won't hold you guys anymore. Just make sure you take care of yourselves. It's getting hot. And make sure you drink water. I'm gonna do so myself right now. Yeah. Here's to a new set, guys. Take care of yourself. Peace.